Welcome. In the world we work in today, your hard skills, your technical skills, they'll get your foot in the door, but it's your soft skills that are going to decide how far you go. We're talking about the hidden language of success, how you really connect with people. And to see what happens when that connection breaks down, let's jump right into a situation I bet we've all seen before. So picture this. You're in a project kickoff meeting. The energy should be buzzing, right? But instead, it's tense. You can feel it in the air. And it all kicks off with one guy and one pretty blunt comment. That's Hans, the software specialist. It would be nice if we didn't waste too much time here. Boom. Just like that, the whole vibe of the meeting shifts. It's negative, it's confrontational. You can practically feel the oxygen leave the room, can't you? Suddenly, everyone's on guard. Now, the easy thing to do here, right? Just write Hans off as that grumpy guy and try to move on. But a really sharp leader knows that whatever's happening on the surface, that's almost never the real story. So what's really bugging Hans? And this is where the soft skills magic happens. The project manager, Giuliani, she doesn't just hear his words. She sees his body language. He looks bored, checked out. So she takes his criticism seriously. But she also has a hunch there's more to it. She pulls him aside and just asks, point blank. And what happens? The real problem tumbles out. Hans isn't being difficult, he's drowning in other work. So the solution wasn't to argue with him, it was to help him. Giuliani offered to talk to his boss. And just like that, a potential roadblock became a motivated team player. See, what Giuliani did there is a perfect example of a huge truth. Truly powerful communication doesn't start with talking. It starts with listening. It's about hearing the music behind the words. And the great news is, this is a skill anyone can learn. It's called active listening. Step 1 is to just paraphrase. Say back what you heard in your own words. It shows you're paying attention and make sure you're on the same page. Step 2, and this is the big one, don't judge. Your mission at first is just to understand where they're coming from, not to decide if they're right or wrong. And third, you gotta observe. Just like Juliana did. Body language, tone of voice, those things tell you so much more than words alone. Now here's where it gets really fascinating. Even when we're trying our best to listen, we can hear the exact same sentence in totally different ways. There's an amazing tool for getting your head around this, called the 4 ears model. Let's walk through this with the example here. Someone says, the motivation in our team has dropped. Simple enough, right? Well, if you listen with your factual ear, you just hear the data. Motivation is down. Okay, but if you use your self-revealing ear, you hear what it says about the speaker. I am worried. Now, what if your relationship ear is turned on? You might hear a hidden jab. You, our leader, are failing us. Ouch. And finally, with the appeal ear, you hear a demand. You need to fix this now. You see? The exact same words can create 4 completely different realities. No wonder we misunderstand each other so often. All right, so we've got a handle on how to listen better, but what about the other side of the coin? How do we talk and write in a way that actually gets our point across without accidentally starting a fight? This right here, this is a total game changer. Just look at the difference. A you message, you are always so demanding. It's an accusation. It's like pointing a finger. And the instant you do that, people put up a wall. But look at the I message. I sometimes feel under pressure. That's not an attack. It's just you sharing your experience. It's an invitation to have a conversation instead of a reason to start an argument. And beyond that, whether you're talking or writing an email, you can make your communication so much better by running it through a quick checklist, the 4 C's. First, is it clear? No jargon, no fluff. Just say what you mean. Second, is it concise? Get to the point, respect people's time. Third, is it complete? Did you give them everything they need to know? And finally, is it courteous? A simple please and thank you can work wonders. Okay, so let's zoom out a bit. We've been talking about these one-on-one skills, but how do they all come together to create a team that doesn't just work, but actually clicks? The German language has this awesome word for it, Teamfähigkeit. It doesn't just mean you can be on a team. It's the actual skill of working smoothly with a group, of balancing your own ideas with the team's goals, and moving forward together.
So what does that actually look like day to day? Well, it's about respect, first and foremost. It's a place where people feel safe to speak up, even when they disagree. The focus is always on how do we solve this, not whose fault is this. And maybe the biggest thing, it's a group of people who are willing to compromise and genuinely want to help each other succeed.
And that brings us right back to that kickoff meeting. If you want to be the kind of person who makes meetings better, not worse, it's pretty simple. Show up with an open mind. When people disagree with you, remember, they're challenging the idea, not you. Actually listen to what others are saying. And hey, if you've got something to say it. But just try to keep it sharp and to the point.
Whew. Okay, we've covered a ton of ground, from listening techniques to team dynamics. But here's the thing. Knowing all this stuff is great, but it's totally useless until you actually put it into practice. So let's talk about building your personal toolkit.
So, first things first, let's do a quick, honest self-check. No grades, no judgment, just a little awareness. Thinking about everything we've talked about, where are you right now?
Just ask yourself a few questions. Are you the kind of person who can tell when a teammate is holding something back? Do you actually ask people for feedback? Could you, right now, make a good argument for a point of view you disagree with? Do you find yourself wondering why people do what they do? This isn't a test. It's just a starting line.
All right, now for the fun part. Don't try to become the world's greatest communicator overnight. Just think about one tiny thing you could improve. What's one small step forward you'd like to take?
And here's a dead simple plan to do it. First, just pick one thing. Let's say it's active listening. Second, for the next week, just look for chances to use it. In a meeting, on a phone call, anywhere. Third, find someone who's really good at it and just watch them. What do they do that works? And fourth, at the end of the day, take 30 seconds to think, how did that go? That's it. That simple little loop is how you get better. So I'll leave you with this. Let's make this real. Forget all the theories for a second. Based on everything we've just talked about in this explainer, what's the one conversation, the one email, the one meeting you're going to handle just a little bit differently tomorrow?